Chag Sameach is Reuven Ebrahimoff, the Haftorahman. What do we have today? The explanation of the Haftorah for the 7th day of Pesach. It is a Yom Tov, and we read a special Haftorah. Where does it come from? It comes from the Sefer Shmuel Bet, the second book of Samuel. And what does it talk about in the book of Shmuel? Well, you talk about Shaul and you talk about David. Shaul was appointed king by Shmuel, the first king of Israel. And in a different Haftarah, it is explained why the throne was torn from him and that King David, Shaul's son-in-law, David HaMelech, is now made the king of Israel. And this Haftarah is a song. So that's your connection. What's the connection? Because when Bnei Yisrael left Egypt and they crossed through the Yam Suf and they got to the other side, they sang a song. Well, Jewish people love to sing songs. And as a matter of fact, it says that the Jewish people have 10 songs, famous songs. I'll enumerate them now. The first one is from Adam HaRishon. And it says that he wrote one of the Tehillim. David HaMelech is not the only author of Tehillim. There were 10 different authors, and the author of the one that we read on Shabbat, Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, is given credit that it was sung and written by Adam. The second one is the famous song that I just mentioned when we left Egypt, and that's called Oz Yoshir. Then they sang. That was for the men, and now Shirat Miriam is the third song. Then fourth, you have Moshe Rabbeinu's song, Ha'azinu Hashamayim Va'adabera, and that was Moses' song. Fifth, Yehoshua, he too, we said earlier in a different Haftarah, that he parted the waters of the Yarden, and that he also sang a song afterwards. Then we all know the famous Shirat Dvorah, the song of Devorah, that she was answered her prayers, and Shmuel was given to her. Then we have the famous song about Shirat Chana, that she sings about having been given Shmuel as the son. Sorry about Devorah. Devorah sang as a victory song over Sisera. Then we have this Haftarah, which is about David HaMelech, Tehillim, Psalms, songs, and then his son, Shlomo HaMelech, wrote Shir HaShirim. So there's one more, the 10th, and that's Shirat HaMashiach. This we haven't heard yet, but Bezrat Hashem in the near future. Just a little bit about the biography of King David, David HaMelech. He lived about 3,000 years ago in the city of Jerusalem. He was the son of Yishai, and the Davidic dynasty is said to be where the Mashiach is going to come from. His mother's name is mentioned in the Gemara of Tzel Plonit. And as you know, he was a musician. David HaMelech was a musician. He lived 70 years. The Midrash says that those years came from Adam HaRishon. They were supposed to live 1,000 years, and he quoted person in all of the books of the prophets. The Haftarah begins, and it sounds similarly to a perek, a chapter in Tehillim, perek Yudchet. Vayidaber David laHashem et Divrai HaShirah hazot. So you have the Shirah, which is the connection to Az Yashir, the Shirah of Pesach. B'yom hitzil Hashem oto mikaf kol evav umikaf Shaul. Whoa! His father-in-law was trying to kill him. Shaul didn't believe that he should have been dethroned. And for most of King David's life, he's on the run. And we even know the famous story that King David was hiding in a cave, and Shaul came into the cave to relieve himself. And while there, David snips off the corner of Shaul's robe, and then in later years, King David never felt warm and comfortable because it says that he showed disrespect even to the former king, but he showed disrespect to the clothing of a king. And the Haftarah continues with praises of God for being Hashem is Suri, Hashem is my stone, my protector, Hashem is always there for me, and that he is always grateful. David HaMelech is always grateful, and he thanks God for everything that he did for him over the years. The Haftarah completes with the famous pasuk, And sometimes you hear Magdil, here you hear Migdal Yeshu Od Malko V'yosei Chesed Lim Shicho LeDavid Ulezaharo Ad Olam. So this we sing in the Birkat Hamazon, in the grace after meals, but the source is from this Haftarah. And it's saying these great things are going to happen to his royalty, the king, and all the chesed that will be done for the Mashiach, the anointed one, literally what it means, LeDavid, to David, ulezaro, and to all his descendants, ad olam, forever and ever. So here we say this pasuk because we believe that from the Davidic dynasty, that the Mashiach will come, and that the better days are coming, where the entire world will be world peace, and the Jewish people will live in Jerusalem and visit the Beit HaMikdash forever and ever. Chag Sameach.